that's rolled into the cost of groceries. For everyone who shops, they are paying a bag cost, an unnecessary bag cost for a wasteful item. In a preliminary way, I'd like to point out that, first of all, I did not initiate consideration of this issue here at the EMSWA board. It came from an EMSWA board member, and my role has been to try to do my duty as a staff member to present it. I do have my own opinion about how this should proceed, but I will separate that out and discuss that and identify it clearly. How this has moved forward is the EMSWA board worked on it for several sessions and started to grapple with the difficulty of this issue. It's not a simple issue, and decided at a certain point that they needed some kind of indication from the member jurisdictions as to where they stood on this issue, because they recognized that if something was going to happen, it would be very advantageous to have a uniform approach from the County of Mendocino and the cities, so that there was not a patchwork of policy on this, but that we stood together. And since any action by any municipality in California will get some kind of a challenge from the industry, I think that there is strength in numbers, and there would be a little amount of political comfort if all the jurisdictions were able to act together. So then EMSWA initiated a process of referring this for comment to go back to EMSWA, so that EMSWA would presumably work as a collective council to come up with a uniform model ordinance, if that's possible, for all 4 jurisdictions. So your agenda title today indicates that you would be directing the county staff to prepare an ordinance, and I would interject there that the EMSWA intention is that we would have guidance, and that the EMSWA would commissioners would evaluate that guidance and then attempt to produce a model ordinance that would be acceptable to all the jurisdictions, or at least something that they would use as a basis for starting their own process. In general, in getting into this issue, I think I'd like to pose the question is, well, how do you defend a product that is an extreme litter problem that, according to the Los Angeles County report, plastic bags constitute 29% of that huge lake of plastic debris that's floating around in the Pacific Ocean? It jams processing machinery at recycling centers. It consumes petroleum unnecessarily. And on. The objections to plastic bags, I don't think we necessarily have to reiterate them, although I've got them all here if there's any need for reference. But I'd like to pose the question, well, what does the industry say in defense of its product? Because I think that is very meaningful and illuminating. And for that reason, I dropped off yesterday a couple of sheets, which you hopefully have, which includes a form letter that the Grocers Association sent to the city of Willits. It's the same letter they sent to the Fort Bragg City Council, and I guess they sent it out to any jurisdiction that's considering action. And also a information sheet that the American Chemistry Council, which is affiliated with the plastic bag manufacturers, which they put out on the issue. And I'd just like to highlight a couple of things, because I think that they deserve an airing and they should be answered, if possible. In the letter from the Grocers Association, going down to the 4th paragraph, they state, by prohibiting the use of recyclable plastic carryout bags, grocery stores would be forced to use paper or compostable carryout bags, which provide no environmental benefit. Eliminating one bag type does not encourage consumers to reduce carryout bag usage, and that's underlined. In order to reduce carryout bag usage, grocery stores, and then it proposes a variety of small ways to do that. The next paragraph specifically talks about the compostable plastic bag, or should we say so-called compostable bag. Compostable plastic carryout bags will only compost if industrially composted. Furthermore, compostable plastic carryout bags do not compost in the natural environment or in a landfill. No opportunities exist to properly dispose of a compostable plastic bag in Mendocino County, while opportunities to recycle plastic carryout bags are currently available. Additionally, the presence of recyclable carryout bags along with compostable carryout bags will confuse consumers regarding proper disposal, resulting in commingling and contamination of recyclable material. The contamination of recycling and composting feedstock eliminates the marketability of each final product, eliminating any environmental gain. This is an important point because if petroleum-based plastic bags are indeed recyclable, you can't contaminate that stream with a vegetable-based or an otherwise adulterated bag, which you describe as compostable, because an adulterated batch is just going to go to the landfill. So on the other hand, if you are trying to use compostable bags and you have an industrial composting outlet and you want to send them there, you can't be sending the petroleum-based bags in with that waste stream because they're not compostable and they contaminate the compost. So this is one of the reasons why I think that the choice in California still seems to be paper or plastic, and the compostable bag issue may be a non-starter because we're faced as a industrial society with a choice. Well, we're either going to have to stick with the petroleum-based plastic, or we're going to make a 100% changeover to the vegetable-based compostable plastic. But there's real problems in kind of doing a halfway approach. So the other important facts that are put forward by the industry are in the fact sheet, the information sheet from the American Chemistry Council. Right in the first paragraph, they assert, quote, plastic grocery bags require 40% less energy to manufacture than paper bags. That makes sense when you look at the product. And then the next line, for every 7 trucks needed to deliver paper bags, only 1 truck is needed for the same number of plastic bags, helping to save energy and reduce emissions. Now, what happened in San Francisco, which is the first municipality in this state that bit the bullet and passed an ordinance and implemented it? It went into effect, I believe, effectively in November. It applied to the supermarkets and the large drugstores. They said, you can't use a plastic carryout bag anymore. They all switched to paper bags. It was just, they said, well, we're going back 15 years or 10 years or however long it is we used to do it. We know how to do it. It's a commercially available product. And so they went to paper bags. So from our point of view here, simply following in San Francisco's footsteps could have the same result, that we've switched to paper bags. Now, according to the figures put forward by the Chemistry Council, you're going to get into a situation where we're actually using substantially more energy than the plastic bags do. So where is the ultimate environmental benefit? Clearly there are some, because plastic bags are a particular litter problem. They are recycled to a much smaller degree than paper bags and so on. But still, you're not really making that much overall environmental progress. For that reason, well, that, by the way, is one of the bases of the lawsuit by the plastic bag industry against the city of Oakland, which enacted a similar ordinance. There was a CEQA lawsuit that's pending. The basis of it is that there are these environmental pluses and minuses, therefore it should have been analyzed and an environmental impact report done. The city's response is, no, we have an explicit exemption from CEQA as an action of a jurisdiction in defense of natural resources. There has been a court hearing, but the judge has not issued his ruling. It could come any day. Okay, so you have a dilemma here. What are we really trying to do? And I think if we think about the issue, the question really shouldn't be paper or plastic. The answer to that question should be neither. And we are trying to carry out a changeover in our society to use of reusable carry-out bags, as is widely done elsewhere in the world. Santa Monica has been grappling with exactly the same question, and their answer is the following. They said, okay, we will ban plastic carry-out bags. However, we will also require a fee at the grocery store or the retail drugstore that compensates the store for the cost of the paper bag that they use. And the purposes of that fee are twofold. One, to provide an incentive to the customer, a real incentive, or an incentive that works,